Hey, y'all. Thanks for stopping by. So, for the last month or so, there have been a lot of calls for Joe Biden to step out of the 2024 election, to finish up his term, but to let somebody else run in the general against Donald Trump to keep the GOP out of power. These calls were amplified when he had that debate performance against Donald Trump that CNN hosted. And while neither of them did well, CNN didn't do well by not having a live fact checker for all that stuff. Joe Biden had a lot to prove there that he could still do the job, that he needed to basically show that he was all there. There have been lots of people talking about his mental state and his clarity and his ability, and it it didn't ease any minds, his performance. And it wasn't just the podcaster guys, it wasn't channels like mine that caused this stir. The actual news talks about this a lot. Even Joe Biden's precious Morning Joe had scathing words about him, and this spread to representatives and to senators, and some of your favorites might have not stepped across that line. I know AOC caught a lot of heat for standing with Joe Biden till the end, saying that he's the nominee, that he's the one who's going to run, because, to be honest with you, I mean, that's kind of her boss, for one, but also, yeah, this isn't really so much about Joe Biden as a man. This is more about keeping the GOP out of power. All recent elections, at least in my memory, have been a testament to that, to why the GOP needs to be out of power. Now, as of today, Joe Biden has seemingly heeded that warning, and he has officially stepped out of the 2024 election cycle. He released this nice letterhead document. You can pause it if you'd like to read through all of this. I'm not going to bore you with the details. It does kind of run through the stuff that he's accomplished in his first term, or I guess now his only term as president. And there has been a lot of good things that this administration has done. So there's no denying any of that. But there's one thing that this paper doesn't say. I'm sure it's something that's wearing on your mind as much as it's wearing on mine, and that's what comes next. Who's going to be in the chair if it's not Joe Biden? And he's officially put his endorsement on his vice president, Kamala Harris, running in the general. As far as who her vice president is going to be, it's way too early to tell for that. I would imagine they're going to go with somebody who is almost offensively white, a white man, more than likely. People say Gavin Newsom, people say Andy Bashir. I don't really know where this is going to come from. No matter who takes the spot, they're giving up their seat, whether they're a senator, governor, wherever they're coming from. So, as far as what we're going to do, me and you, what's changing for us? Nothing. I know that sounds weird because this is a monumentous thing. I don't think this has ever happened in my lifetime. Nothing changes for us as far as this election cycle goes, though, because in the general election, as much as I hate this phrase, this whole vote blue no matter who, yeah, in the general, you should do that. When it comes to these high seats of power, it's very unlikely in this current structure that we're in that you're going to get somebody who's far left enough to satisfy what you want. But what is important is keeping those guys out of the chair. The GOP, and I think 2016 proved that enough. And Trump, in 4 years of GOP control, have pulled us back so far, appointed enough people that we're losing fundamental rights as a people. We can't allow that to happen again. And I don't care who's in that seat. I don't care what blue tie they put up there. It will be infinitely better than another Trump term. This should be a slam dunk with everything going on with Trump right now, with all of his, 34 felony convictions, millions of dollars, billions of dollars in legal fees. The Epstein files that were unlocked recently that show you exactly what kind of man he is. This should be an absolute slam dunk. Running Kamala will probably give them a little bit of, they could do the lock him up thing like they did with Hillary Clinton. I think it would be hilarious if we do I'm with her and get Kamala Harris put in the chair with that. That'll be enough for me to be happy for 4 years. But again, for me and you, this doesn't change anything. I hope you can actually get the day off for election day, or Your boss gives you the time to go to actually participate. Maybe you can mail it in. What you need to do right now is register because it's as serious as it has been, but we really need to make sure we can keep these people out of power. So until we get more news, until we figure out who her vice president's going to be, until we actually figure out who's getting the official nomination from the DNC, I'll try to have a good day.